All right, welcome back, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Another episode of Sandberg Stays in Philadelphia, Out of the Park 26. It's been just 2 days in game time since we last talked, but it is the trade deadline, so I thought we would pop in, give you a quick update on what's happening here at the trade deadline. As you know from the last video, we are in first place in the National League East. We split the 2 games at the end of the month. Steve Carlton picked up the win in game 1, it's now 15-2 with a 3.03 ERA. Atlanta is now 8 games back, but they are in great shape in the wild card, 2 games ahead of the Los Angeles Dodgers, 2 ahead of the St. Louis Cardinals. The Braves, the Expos, have been busy making deals over the All-Star break, getting ready to wrap up the trade deadline here. They have been trying to get better. So for us, in the last video, we mentioned the addition of Kent Tekulve. And here we can take a closer look at Teak. Tekulve was somebody who the Phillies did, in reality, pick up actually a few years later. Very effective right-hand relief pitcher. This is the biggest weakness on the team right now. We could really use a nice left-handed bat in the middle of that lineup, but also looking at our starting 8, honestly, I wouldn't want to change any of them. If Bo is not healthy, then shortstop is an area we could improve, but he should be back in a couple of days and in the lineup, and we should be fine there. Franklin's done a decent job, and here we could take a look at the starting rotation. We said Carlton 15-2. Ruthven took the loss in the second game since our last video. He falls to 9-4. He took a good beating in that one, as the Phillies fall to 62-36. Christensen up next, but overall, Ruthven and Christensen, nice job. Marty Bystrom, Pascual Perez, again, mixed results here. So we're happy with the rotation. We're happy with the starting 8. Bullpen. Some veterans down here now, but Tug doing a good job as a closer. Joe Price. It's the right-handers that got to get better. You see Guy Hoffman down there doing a nice job. So as we go through the deadline here, we're going to keep our eyes open. We feel like we've made our deal adding Kent Tekulve, but as we go through the deadline day, we're going to see if any unexpected relief pitchers become available, and we'll kick the tires on any relief pitchers that we think can improve the team. All right, so you see the trade deadline counter is going. We will edit through this so we don't have to sit through 4 minutes every time. While that timer is running, I can tell you that Warren Brewster, Len Matuzik, 2 guys that we've put out there. I don't expect huge offers for them, but you never know. You never know. Someone could see something in them and want to take a shot. Len Matuzik having a fantastic year at AAA. He's maxed out his potential. He's a first baseman, left-handed hitting first baseman with a little pop. We gave him some at-bats there last year after we moved Pete Rose. He just did not hit in bigs, so we decided to go with Julio Franco for this year. So Matuzik could be somebody that we get an offer for. We did make another move. We moved Manny Trillo to the Yankees for a minor league pitcher, Jamie Worley. Take a look at Worley. He is not expecting this guy to break into our rotation next year. Somebody who could throw some innings at AAA for sure. I like to have some stability in my minor league teams. He's a guy that can do that, but he's also someone who could potentially crack into a major league roster. We'll start down here at the bottom. We'll look through some of these transactions that have already happened. You see Gene Garber went to the Kansas City Royals. Louis Tiant picked up by the Cardinals. Tiant was the National League Cy Young winner last year. 1.92 ERA and 35 starts for the Pirates. He is now with the Cardinals. Mets fans, Clint Hurdle traded for Lee Mazzilli. Tommy John now an Expo. Charlie Huff to the Reds. Reds are a team that we struggle with, and getting Charlie Huff. Atlanta picks up Steve Bedrosian, moves Steve Bedrosian to the Pirates. So the Pirates now have Bruce Sutter and Steve Bedrosian in their bullpen. So if we do play out a few seasons, we'll see how that works out. Another deal for Montreal with the Mets. Wally Backman goes to the Expos. Longtime standout for the Mets, now an Expo. Now looking down the list of who's available, there are some interesting names. As we said, we are really here to look for relief pitching. Maybe a starter and we move somebody to the pen if we really think it'll improve the team. We're not really looking for anybody in the starting 8. Again, knock me out. But Tippy Martinez, here is someone that could help improve our bullpen. Now, I know a lot of people don't like this feature, but I do make this work now just to see what the other team is thinking about. And this list is, I wouldn't say untouchable, but I don't think any of these guys for Tippy Martinez is a good move on our part. Christensen for sure not. Jack Clark is probably our MVP, so no. Pascual Perez on the surface, you might say maybe, but the fact that he could potentially top out at 65, that's future top end of the rotation guy potentially, so no, not going there. Joe Price, you would think is maybe the obvious one, but Joe Price, if you compare him and Tippy Martinez, their ratings really aren't that different. Martinez is a 60 overall. Price ranks out at a 55, but I don't think trading them one for one really improves us, if at all, honestly. Of course, we're not moving Sandberg and Lonnie Smith. Lonnie Smith or Jack Clark is our MVP of this team. So no, that's not happening. So Tippy Martinez not coming to the Phillies. And you did see a moment ago, there was a deal up there for Amos Otis, who is a nice player. But again, just a guy that I don't think is really going to get much playing time. So I don't want to give away any talent for somebody that's not really going to help the team. All right, so Len Matuzik, 27-year-old guy. He's basically maxed out on where he can go. I think he could help some teams. Just no place on our team because of Franco. So we're going to shop him. All right, so we shopped Len Matuzik because we're going to lose him at the end of the year anyway. He doesn't really have a spot on our roster. Jeff Lottie for the Minnesota Twins. Not a great relief pitcher. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be our closer, but he's got great movement potential. Keep the ball in the park. Control should be all right at 50. Not great pitches, not great stuff, but somebody who maybe could be a right-hander that throws. Keeps the ball in the park. We'll put him down in the minors. Maybe a depth relief pitcher. I think it gives us something instead of losing Len for nothing. Well, the Yankees send a 22-year-old Mike Pagliarulo and Roy North for 3 players to the Twins. Mike Flanagan is an angel. He's traded for Ray Kibble. All right, the final section of the day, we do get a trade offer from the Mets. They are trying to send us Amos Otis again. Right-handed infielder Rick Shue is who they're interested in. Now, Amos Otis, not a bad player. I don't think he's taking Gary Maddox's spot in center. He's sure not taking Jack Clark's job in right. He's not taking Lonnie Smith's job in left. If I needed an infielder, if I needed an outfielder, I would be interested in this guy for the run to the playoffs. I don't think Amos Otis is cracking the starting lineup, and I don't think he's going to improve our bench that much. If at all, honestly. We have pretty good outfielders backing up our starting 3. So I think I'm going to pass on Amos Otis again. All right, well, the deadline has passed. Quick peek at what we've done here in the few days up to the trade deadline. Again, to recap, we sent Roy Smith, a minor league starter with some potential to crack into a starting rotation in the next year or two. For Kent Tekulve, Manny Trillo sent him to the Yankees for a young, I think a 25-year-old starter, Jamie Worley, who, if he has a future in the majors, is probably in the bullpen, but you never know. Len Matuzik, somebody who had been doing a great job at AAA, got his chance for about half a season last year on the big club. Just did not get it done. Julio Franco has nailed down first base for us for now. So we move him to Minnesota for a relief pitcher named Jeff Lottie. Jeff should be a guy with not overwhelming stuff, but a guy who potentially will keep the ball in the yard, throw some ground balls. At a minimum, give us some stability at AAA and maybe crack into the big league bullpen. So as we suspected, Kent Tekulve was our big addition prior to the trade deadline. Now we move on. We will play through the month of August. The next time we see you will be around September 1st. We'll get the roster expansion, and it was big back in the 80s. They knew how to expand a roster. So we will be adding a lot of players into the mix, getting ourselves ready for the playoff push through September and then into October, and then playoff baseball. So a lot to look forward to. Thank you for hanging out. Like and subscribe if you're enjoying it. And before I sign off, Larry Boa, that wrist injury, still lingering. He's not back in the lineup yet. That's our concern now. Anyway, like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. 62-36, 8 games over Atlanta, leading the NL East. The trade deadline is done. Here we go. Playoff push.
And please subscribe to my game.